Even if you're unarmed, if you time your resistance right and you're ready to go, you can oftentimes stop an armed robbery. Hi everyone, this is John with today's active self-protection lesson out of Valparaiso, Indiana. Here we're going to see an armed robbery that goes really bad for the armed robber. It's going to teach us some important lessons about timing your counter ambush correctly, about using empty-handed skills if that's all you have, and about helping yourself and others to break the bystander effect. So as this one begins, you can see just right about meow that this guy here is our perp. And you can see that he has his hands in his pockets, but the clerk is already trying to get the money for him. And right about meow, you can see on the left-hand side, our bystander here is starting to look around and see if anybody else is going to do something. And when they don't, he grabs the robber and he's now going to push him to a spot where he's trying to keep a hold of the guy. And he gives him a pretty good thing, but right now they're going to get some bystanders involved. And when they get involved, they're able to hold this guy down. But notice how difficult it is for them to keep him down. We have at least 4 guys trying to hold down one person. And I know a lot of people are like, look, if they knew some jiu-jitsu or whatever, they'd be able to hold him down. And I think that's probably true, but most people don't. And if you don't have a significant skill set, it's kind of hard to do. But they do keep him down and the cops are going to get him. All right, now let's go back and learn some lessons out of this one. The first one I want to really think about here is the fact that this clerk is like looking around and going, hey, how am I going to get some help? And let's think about being the bystander here. Now, if you're going to get involved in this kind of a situation, you have to decide, I have the attitude and the skills and the plan to do so. And if you do decide to do so, you got to look for an opportunity to launch a counter ambush. And he gets upon that counter ambush right here. And when he does, you notice that he pins the guy's arms. And I think that that's a great idea. You want to control the arms and the hands. And the reason that you want to control arms and hands is because that's where the danger comes from, quite obviously. But you can't stay there. See, the problem with this is if you don't get him on the ground real quick, he's going to try to get away from you and try to break free of that grip. So if you're going to counter ambush somebody from behind, you're going to try to control him. Yes, arm control is incredibly important, but do the best you can to get him on the ground as fast as you can, because he didn't. This guy was able to kind of get away from him a little bit. Now he's able to stop that by running him into the side there, but you notice that our bad guy almost sneaks out from underneath. He kind of gets him to duck there, and that gets a guy over the top of him, and now he's kind of got him in a headlock, but that's not a great position to be in if you're fighting with a guy. I love right meow that these guys get involved, that the bystanders decide to get involved, and that's incredibly important. Once one person breaks the bystander effect, oftentimes somebody else will. Usually that's if they feel like they can help overwhelm the guy and they're not at a significant force deficit. So you got to think about that from a bystander effect. And finally here, with all these guys piling up on this dude, if you're working with partners, you've got to communicate. You can't just kind of everybody do their own thing. You got to communicate with each other. You get ahead, you get that arm, you get that behind you, put his foot here, keep that from getting in control, and get somebody on the phone with 911. Applaud this bystander. I think he did a fabulous job. I think that we ought to think about what it means for us as we cover our ASP.